citizen journalist, citizen lawyer, citizen jack of all trades. Yesterday or the day before, I did a video, as you all know, Kate Floss. I've been in the courts for around about 2 years now, trying to get in our 1688 will and Mary, which is the will of the Almighty God that controls all of the religions of the world and controls all people under Almighty God. Now, and some of you will be familiar with it. But anyway, wanted to make a couple of videos while I've got time, because I'm still got to be getting back in the court, and I don't have time to talk to you all when I'm in the court, because I have to write many documents, answer many emails, and read many case histories. So I don't have much time. So I just wanted to make these videos to let you know where we're going and what to look out for the future for your Kate Floss, for all my Kate Floss fans. We are looking for 1,000 viewers. We're up to 745, I think. We were only on 735 or something, but we've definitely gone up. So we're trying to get 1,000 subscribers. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I can have live interviews on my YouTube. So bring in all your friends, bring in your army. We're building an army. We've got to build this army. It's got to be a big army. It's going to be a strong army. You've all got to come in, and I'm going to show you all what to do, and you can all go and do this. Now, as you know, I went in under the Declaratory Judgements Act of 1908. This is available in Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, Canada, probably not in America, although they do talk about it. I just have recently been reading a Yale document. So you can all go and search out for your Declaratory Judgements Acts, and this is your entry into the court. So this was my first entry into the court, and the other day I did a video that we had, part of our memorandum was that they were placing unqualified ministers into the ministries, and then Judith Collins has confirmed in the Parliament that that the leaders of these ministries with no qualifications, no legal background, are writing laws, and they're not sending it to the parliamentary law drafters committees to have these laws checked, and then they're putting them out into the public and forcing all of you to obey them. And this is what happened with the COVID response. But so that COVID response came out in November of 2022, and we went into the court in December of 2022. So we've been in there since then. Now, this was the original claim, and you'll see it's just really simple. Now, any of you can take a template from this, and you can do this. To whom it has pleased Almighty God to make the glorious instrument, I, Catherine, do solemnly and sincerely, in the presence of God, profess, testify, and declare that I am a faithful Protestant. Now, this is a Protestant law. The 1688 Bill of Rights is a Protestant law. If you're Jewish or you're Muslim, you can change Protestant to be faithful to Almighty God. Now, that's going to be just fine. If you're faithful to Almighty God, it's still going to bring you under this law. But it is actually, in fact, a Protestant law to counteract the Old Testament that had all of the cruel punishments. And that I will, according to the true intent of the enactments, which secure the Protestant success to the throne of my realm, uphold and maintain the said enactments to the best of my powers according to law. I claim that there was originally two of us, but one separated. She went down with the devil. The devil got her. She became tempted by the golden pot. So, that's just what happens. We claim that. Other rights not affected. What we're claiming is that an existing right under the 1688 Bill of Rights shall not be held to be abrogated or restricted, and deemed and taken to be, and within the 1688 is the subjects' liberties to be allowed. We do pray that it may be declared and enacted that all in singular the rights and liberties asserted and claimed in the said declaration are true, ancient, and indubitable rights, and liberties of the people of this kingdom. And so shall it be esteemed, allowed, adjudged, deemed, and taken to be, and that all and the particulars aforesaid shall be firmly and strictly held and observed as they are expressed in the said declaration, and all officers, and now this is important, all officers and ministers whatsoever shall serve their majesties and their successors according to the same in all times to come. On these grounds of the Section 28 of the New Zealand Bill of Rights, that is called the New Zealand Bora, which is an act and a subordinate ordinary law. But on that it says the subjects' liberties are to be allowed under the 1688 Bill of Rights and the imperial laws, and then we put in the orders sought that a declaration to effect stating that the applicant's rights, without ordering any specific action pursuant to Section 2 of the so we only wanted them to affirm the rights, and they did not wish to do that. I don't know why they did not wish to do that, but they did not wish to do that. But anyway, there were several court cases that came out of that. Now, where do I want to go next with you? So if you're from England, Scotland, or Ireland, okay, I want to keep that one there in mind, all right? And then the Declaratory Judgements Act, you will see here, now this is I'm going to post this in the links for you, and so this is talking about that, this is talking about a Yale investigation in 1918. This was done over in America, and what they said was, it will be recalled that, and I don't know if you can see this one, I'll try to make it bigger, but I'm going to post it in the links. It will be recalled that under the Indian Specific Relief Act 1877, a declaration cannot be granted in a case in which the plaintiff could have requested further relief by way of injunction, damages, or a claim to recover possession of property. Now I just want to show you that this resembles the practice of the German Supreme Court and is of an interest as representing the antithesis of the former English practice under the 1852 Act, this being the only kind of case in which a declaration can be made. Now, what this is just basically saying to you is that the Declaratory Judgment Act is actually a German act, and that I've told you that all of us Protestants were shipped out from Germany. That's why you've got a German royal family. All your German royal family comes out of Germany. And we were all shipped into your countries. We were the German native people who had not been made citizens, who were natives to the land. They had not had any birth certificate, were scooped up out of Germany, taken over to Scotland, Ireland, England, Canada, all of these countries taken over there, and then these laws were all placed on their backs, and then the Declaratory Judgment Act comes out of that, but it is in fact a German law. I did just want to, it's got some cases here, just a little bit here. The steamship company during the trial evidently decided to abandon the prayer for an injunction, but the proceedings continued and the court made a declaration. When you were getting an injunction for monetary gain or things like that, it comes under a different thing. But that was done through the P&O steamship, and this is talking about the English and Scottish practices. So we've got American practices, but actually the English and Scottish practices all come under this. The Irish practices all come under this. So I'm going to post it up and you can go and read about the declaratory judgment, but it's the declaratory judgment that gives you your power to enter into the court to get binding declarations of right. Now, I'm just going to come over to here, to this one here that talks about Scotland, Ireland, and I'm just going to talk about the languages that when the people went out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to post this, but this was from my good friend Wayne, sent this to me. And so it says here, hang on, I'll just find where I want to find it. The Maori languages, the acute of all past experience has shown, all past experience has shown that the existence of two different races in a country, one of which, from any local circumstances, is considered inferior to the other, is one of the greatest evils under which a nation can labour. This is perfectly true and shews the wisdom of having appointed that excellent man Governor of South Australia. For a moment consider what this difference of race has effected in Ireland. The Saxon conquered the Celt, despised and tyrannized over him. What have been the sufferings of both races ever since? A continued fierce contention at times, breaking out in civil war, for although an endeavour to imitate the revolution in France began in the north of Ireland, it ended in the civil war in the south in 1798. And then in our day, 50,000 persons lost their lives. Again in Canada, the conquered have not adopted the language, the laws, or the habits of their conquerors. What are two races doing in the Anglo-American states? At the present time, it is evident that the existence of the despised African amongst the white race runs a chance of destroying the government of that rising state. What has it done in St. Domingo? There the past may be examined. It after the red man had been driven away or murdered. The whites imported the blacks, which is what they're doing in our countries right now. White religious people, Muslim people, Jewish people, white Jews, German Jews are shipping in thousands upon thousands upon thousands of blacks into our countries. That's what they're doing. And finding it in their interest to multiply them by importation or by breeding upon the principle on which you would treat animals. So they brought them in, and then they got those black people to breed all through the white populations, and then they would get those black people to treat the white populations as animals, as slaves. But here's what happened. They, in their turn, overcame the white people, and those who were not fortunate enough to escape were all murdered. And thus cupidity brought about its own punishment. For the great difference is language, and in this some other nations have acted differently to the English. So I don't need to. The French in the Indian settlements of Pondicherry have not attempted Hindustans or the language of the natives. So it goes on, but what it's just basically saying in there, is that these white religions bring in thousands and thousands of black males into our countries, and then those males in turn breed all through our families. Not only do they breed all through our families, they start attacking us and beating us up and stabbing us and all of those kinds of things. It's a very bad thing. So we brought in the English Bill of Rights to stop all of that from occurring. Now, getting back to my declaratory, so this is why I'm saying the Declaratory Judgment Act can be used in England as well. Now, what have I achieved from that? Well, I'm going to have to sing you all a song. I think if I can find my song. Here we go. Now, this is a song from Johnny Cash, and I want you to really listen carefully to the words of the song. Very important. Okay, here I'll sing you this song.
Well, look way down the river. What do you think I see? I see a band of angels and they're coming after me. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave can hold my body down. Well, look down yonder, Gabriel. Put your feet on the land and sing. But Gabriel, don't you blow your trumpet till you hear from me. There ain't no grave can hold my body down. Ain't no grave can hold my body down.
There you go. That's Johnny Cash singing out for you. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Look down yonder, Gabriel. Put your feet on the land and see. But don't you blow your trumpet until you hear from me. Now, the weather, the COVID-19 come in November 2022, as you all know. I went into the court in December of 2022, and I put in my declaration. And then from that, recently, we had a Cyclone Gabriel in New Zealand. And out of the Cyclone Gabriel in 2023 came the Weather Act. Now, I'm going to show you what has happened. They have ordered the Governor-General and all of them, they said, despite anything else in this order, an order must not grant an exemption from nor modify a requirement or restriction imposed by the Bill of Rights 1688. Now then they've put in the Constitution Act 1986, the Electoral Act 1993, the Judicial Review Procedure Act 2016, the New Zealand Bill of Rights Act 1990, or the Parliamentary Privilege Act 2014. What you'll see here is that the only one here, listen up folks, the only one here that's not an act is the Bill of Rights 1688. It's not an act. It is our constitutional law. It is absolute, and they can't do anything that opposes it. All of these are acts. So you can thank Kate Floss, because I did go in there and ask them to elevate the 1688 Bill of Rights. Now, it doesn't stop there. They also have ordered, they have given us the Maori entities, and they've explained that the minister may seek nominations for appointments for Maori entities. Now, I'm not going to do this one today, but the Te Tua Whenua Maori Act, the next video is going to be talking about the Te Tua Whenua Maori Act and the deception of the Te Tua Whenua Maori Act 1993 is going to be all revealed to you, but not today. And then what it says here is that all these ministers also cannot, if you go further down the section, they cannot breach Section 11, which I've just told you. What is Section 11? They cannot breach or they cannot do anything that is already a restriction in the Bill of Rights 1688, which all of these get their powers from. So these are just menial powers that come from the Almighty power. This is the power of the Almighty. Now it says here, it defines for you what is a Maori entity. It includes any entity, any other body, incorporated or unincorporated, comprising or representing a collective group whose members are one or more of the Maori entities. So this includes every single entity, every single corporate or uncorporate or whatever body it is, the Waitangi Tribunal, whatever they are, they all come under this Maori entity. And then we've got this Te Ture Whenua Act, which I'm going to be talking to you about soon. And then we've got this Bill of Rights, 1688, which so all of those are under there. So you can thank Kate Floss for that. Okay, now if anybody, I'll post this up also in the links for you, so that'll be posted up later. Now, if any of you are wishing to donate to Kate Floss over in New Zealand, unfortunately, I only have a New Zealand account. I don't know how to do PayPal, but I'm in the ASB New Zealand, Ms. C.M. Waterman, and the number is, ASB Bank of New Zealand, and the number is 123-167-010-113050. Okay, so you can donate to Kate Floss if you want to donate to Kate Floss. I do have to fund all my court cases, but I will do them with or without you. But I thought I'd just put that up for you in case anybody wants to drop in something for Christmas or buy Kate Floss a hat. If you want to buy me a hat, you can go and put some money into my bank account. Now, moving on from that. So that's what we've achieved there, that all Maori entities, including the Waitangi Tribunal, the Te Ture Whenua, all of them have been put under the Emergency Weather Act, and the Emergency Weather Act is from the, I'll just show you the full just in case you didn't get it before. You can go and read it for yourself, but this is only, and so this was the Severe Weather Emergency Recovery Act, and it was all put in place because of the Cyclone Gabriel, which I've told you, don't you blow your trumpet until you hear from me. So Cyclone Gabriel occurred after we had entered the court in November, and Cyclone Gabriel has come after that. And then out of the Cyclone Gabriel, since we've been staying in the court and fighting in the court, has come the Severe Weather Emergency Recovery Act, where they've put them all in check. So moving on to a different topic, what we've been having today is, I'm telling you, the Freemasons are well and truly all through our media. So I'm going to start trying to teach you how to read the media and how I don't know, but it just, I've found all the Freemason documents. Now, this is called the Court of Public Opinion of the Brindawins. And what it says here is the Waka, now they've changed our language to Maori, which they're not supposed to do, and the Waka Kotahi, or the New Zealand Transport Agency, is proposing now listen carefully, is proposing a 2-month closure of the Brindawins to fix several significant underslips caused by Cyclone Gabriel, which that's me, Kate Floss, fixing up through Cyclone Gabriel. Don't you blow your trumpet until you hear from me. Well, the courts have heard from me. The 61 million, that's the Article 61 from the Magna Carta, has been approved for recovery and enabling works for the immediate to medium term. The plan currently on the table has been cut back into the hillside to create a 3rd lane. So there came in, we were in on the 1st lane in the 1843 with the St. Pauli ship, the 1843 and the St. Pauli ship, and the German settlers, the Lutheran, Protestant, German settlers, ordinances from the king and from the German Kaiser gave us permission to come to all of these countries, right? And so that was the first lane. They came in with the secondary legislation act, which came in, which we just talked about the other day with Judith Collins. Well, now they've come, and now they've been stopped by the Gabriel. Now the Gabriel is only in power for 2 years. King Charles is coming to New Zealand in 2024, right? And the Gabriel is only in power until 2025. So keep a lookout. This is going to be that they're going to bring in a third lane because they cannot get around the first lane because of Cape Floss, that will run from the Waterfall Corner down to Atlas Quarries. The road will then reopen under a restricted speed limit, under a different layout. Now, when I entered the court, I had said to the Supreme Court that they were psychologically waterboarding us with law, and I said that the speed of which that they are changing the laws is too much and we cannot deal with it, and this is an assault on our persons. So they're going to restrict the speed limit of their movement, and they're also going to come in under a different layout that is going to be restricted by the 1688, I hope. The current northbound lane will be permanently closed off to become the new work site. So they're going to bypass Auckland, they're going to bypass Northern Ireland, they're going to bypass Pennsylvania and all of these places, and they're going to use that as a work site, and they're going to go off to the side and do a different layout. The current southbound lane will become the new northbound lane, whilst the newly created lane will become the new southbound lane. So the southbound, that's Southern Ireland, Catholic Ireland, and southbound is the South Island of New Zealand. Northbound is Auckland, and northbound is Northern Ireland. Catholic, Protestant, Israel, Palestine, New Zealand Maori, and New Zealand German native Lutheran, who became native with them in 1843. So what are they saying here? The northbound lane is not working because we've blocked them. So they're going to permanently close it. Then that is going to be the work area. That's our 1688 is going to be the work area, but the current southbound lane will become the new northbound lane, which means that they're going to go back through the south. Then they're going to readjust all of those southbound laws to be overcome by a new northbound law. I'm not sure. Whilst the newly created lane will become the southbound lane. Now, how I see it is southern New Zealand could be equated to Northern Ireland because we're mirrored. So Northern Ireland is southern New Zealand, and Southern Ireland is northern New Zealand. Israel, Palestine, Israel and Palestine, and Israel and Palestine are going to try and come in on the newly created lane, which will become the new southbound lane. So that's how you can equate that. Now, this got me to thinking. So I went to my place where all their Freemason language is kept. So I'll just move her down here, and I've moved her to, and so when I was looking at that, I was looking at my Cyclone Gabriel, and people have been contacting me, and I've got a lot of people have been telling me stuff. Oh, now I've lost it. So I decided to just type in this word here, Brindlewins, which is BRYNDERWYNS, and I typed in Brindlewins, and what had come up for me, now they'll probably go in and change all this, but I've copied it all. What you'll find here, I can't make my screen bigger, but there are 137 results. Now these are the quarries, all the walkways, the highways, the schools, the quarries, walkways, service stations, aerial photos, walkways. So these are the journeys that they take, and then all of these are the standards of the roadways. Hang on, I'll show you. I'll just put it all up here. These are all the land maps, the state highways. There they've got the post office where they own all of the money goes into their Brindlewin post office, and then that's all changed now. And then we've got a lot of schools, building sites, the Northwood Railways, we've got the construction, we've got, the district roads, we've got Whangarei Road District, we've got the forestries, we've got the main highways, keep going, state highways, schools, more forestries, state highways, all the state highways, the post offices, there are various post offices that they will put in each of these towns, more state highways, and many more state highways. Wait till I get to the end, because I'll show you. So then these are all of the land documents and the maps of all of these state highways that these Brindlewins are in charge of. All right, so then what I was looking for was oaths. So I go to my favourite lucky number, which is 1899, when most of the oaths were done, and I saw that there was nothing to be found. I went through a few of the dates, so I thought, why don't I just put in this court? And I decided to put in court. So I went in and I put in court, and I put in COURT. Now, some of them have developed names for themselves where you type in their name, and you cannot find them because, look, you'll get 167,770. So this is how they hide themselves, by changing their names to names that are used in the daily life, like bridge. If they've got a name like bridge, you'll never find anything in here. If they've got a name like stone or road, it's hard to find things. So I thought, I'm not going to be able to sort through anything there. So I come back and I looked again, and I saw Ann Court. So then I put in Ann Court, and I put it in. I got 1,798 results, and then I brought in my lucky number, and then I got one result. I freaking found it. Woo-hoo! Thank you. I freaking found it. So what you all don't know, that all their Freemasonry is done through these documents. So I went on to there, and it comes up that you can see all of the files, and for this one, the files, I couldn't get them to come up. So I had to do the derivative copy down here, which brought all the files up, and then they came up like that, but they were too small for me to be able to see. But what I was able to do is to cut and paste that, and I cut and pasted it, and it all went on to my site. So they're out there. So this is how I found their Freemason documents. So we've got to really keep an eye out for where we see these little things that are popping up, and this is how they message each other. So they probably won't do it anymore because they know that Kate Floss is well on the path. But so when I went and looked at the documents here, I wanted to know who this. Now, what I've been talking to another little team that have come to meet me. We've been talking about why have we got this black, and why have we got this red here? And they're saying to me is that when one of these documents has got all black, it just means that they're dead. They've been given their birth certificate and there's no use of their document. But what we've discovered here, we think, is when we see a red on it, all right, that is telling us that this document is still living, and it's used for them to go back and search, because it leads you to all the places overseas from where we've come from. So this is all our history. So what you'll notice here is that it's on these documents, they have not put the date. They've only put out 99. So it's likely that they're going to be needing this particular source of whatever it is that they're doing in the year 1999. They have not put the 18 on here. You can see here it's got 99.99. So it only can be used. So it came in 1899, and they're expecting it to be used by 1999, although she's got an oath down here of the 4th, and that even looks like a 7, which looks like a 7. Now, these documents some of them have been doctored. Now, this is a man called either Killer, or Killen, or this is script is done by the italic script, and it's done with a very particular fountain pen, which has got a wide, straight edge. Not many people can even use it today. So they've put on here, I'll just try to go a little bit smaller to get this bit. So this is going to the preface letters, and here her name is Anne, A-N-N-E. Now, my father's always telling me, that's my father over there who's German, full-blooded German national. He was always telling me, you're Anne with an E, Anne with an E. The Anne with an E is very, very important, but I don't know the significance. And she's a Christina. So we went down further, and now you've got the date, 1899. But then you've got the 20th of May, 99, and it's not got the date, and that's also in a red stamp. So there's some kind of source up there. They've got the 28th of the 2nd in 99. Then they've got the 4th of the 4th in 79 or 99. And so they've got these dates. They've also got on the 14th of the 2nd, 99, and they've got, 14th of they've got 10th of the 2nd, 99. So I believe that there were certain activities that had to be carried out on the 10th of 1999 and on the 14th of 1999, and the 28th of February 1999. And then also, so a lot going on in February, and then we can go over to this document here where there's nothing in red. So this is dead. The 5th of the 4th is dead. The 4th of the 4th is dead. That's because she oathed on the 4th of the 4th, so I assume she's died. So that's been died in the black, so my friends are telling me. But this is revived on the 20th of May of 1999. I don't really know, I'm just telling you what the things, and some of you others will see it. So then her name, now I have the honour to enclose the letters of naturalisation in favour of ACM Sawig, Sawig, under the hand of His Excellency, the Governor, and the seal of the colony. So this is going to be rebirthed on the 20th of May of 1999, and there is the clerk, and then it's going to be received by the clerk of the court in Whangarei on the 29th of April of 1899. So I'm assuming, and then that's got the 1899. And then it's by a man, this is her signature. Now we'll go down here. There'll be more occurring on the 4th of April of 1999. Here they have got the date 1899. I have the honour to acknowledge the receipt of your letter applying for the naturalisation of ACM, which is a Mac, Lanwig, and that is by Mr. Killen, or Mr. Killer. And then there's some kind of Freemason cross here. That has been done in black. If anybody out there knows what this symbol here might mean, it's got, now if you go and look at the X of Elon Musk, you will see that his X is exactly like that. It is exactly. I don't know if you can see it on my phone, but there is Elon Musk's X, and it's got a double flat line through the middle and a straight line through there. So Elon Musk has been birthed, all right? So he came about in 1999, 2000. So 1999 was Elon Musk's, they were bringing him in 1999. So that's where you'll see that, okay? And so now I just know myself, I don't need yours, what this mark is. So the clerk and the court and Whangarei, and the mark is being placed down here, so it's on the left side. The naturalisation will be in her favour. Then it's on the left side. Kindly request the applicant to state her occupation, and it's put here domestic duties. So this is Elon Musk over here, and then Elon Musk is going to get the application to take over Twitter in his favour. So they're working in his favour. Kindly request the applicant. Then it's going to go to the oath of allegiance. After this has occurred with Elon Musk, it will be revived again. We're back on the 4th of April of 1999. I am Christina Margareta Swingen of Whangarei, domestic duties. So this is in the domestic. So domestically, these are the laws that they're going to continue to have to travel. However, just be careful, because as the evil ones have said, they're going to come down on a new south road. So we're watching that. Now here we can come to the memorandum of the magistrate's office with a red line. There are 3 living red lines drawn through it, through the memorandum, which I have put in several memorandums, ordering them to stand down, and you can see by Gabriel, Cyclone Gabriel and the Weather Act, that the order has been made. So far, so good, until 2025. So we don't really know where this is going. We'll just follow Jesus and see what happens. Now, I usually, whenever I go to the oaths, you usually will see the oath, and then right after the oath, you usually will not have this here. Usually right after the oath, you will see this document here. Now, this document here it tells you where the person came from, and you'll see here they're not called citizens, and they're not called subjects. They're called memorialist, which means that they keep the memory. They hold all the memory of the world is held within these people. And this one was to come alive on the 28th of February 1999. And what happens is you go here, and usually you can see where the person came from, but I could not see exactly. But I thought it was HAMDALSADA. And then it looked to me like a H over here, but I'm not sure. But I just took my best guess. And it is filled with trickery. They've put her in as Landwig, and usually I've never seen this before. The name has been written across the stamp. I've never seen this before, ever. And this is an interesting one, because this here has been placed now. Oh, now I see what's happened. They have altered these documents. Right, I see what they've done. How weird is that? To my understanding, what they've done is that they've put the memorandum, and it's possible that that memorandum is attached is part of this here. Is it possible? And because clearly this document here has been placed over the top of this document here. And usually I might just have to go back and research this a little bit more. This one's got the 24th of February 1899, and this has got the 10th of February 1899. They are not from the same document, obviously. This one is 1474 and this is 10496. There'll be somebody that's following Kate Floss that knows what these numbers mean. So you can get in touch with me if you want to. So it's possible it's possible that this memorandum is the bottom half of this bit, and then the memorialist has been placed on top of that. I've never seen it occur before, so this is very unusual. But those Freemasons in that ad that I put up for you, they'll know what this is all about. So anyway, moving forward, I went on to talk about that. Well, then I decided to go and I tried out a few different words, but what I was able to come up with was this place called Hallandsdale over in Norway. And so I went to have a look at that, and there is a church over there, and Hallandsdale is a former, I might start that. It is a former municipality in the old Hordaland County of Norway. It existed from 1903. Now, that is interesting. Queen Victoria died in 1901, and the king was ascended in 1902, and then the oaths were made in 1902, and then this municipality was established in 1903 under the new king, and it only was there until 1964. And so there'll be a whole lot of Freemasonry stuff in here that we don't understand, but that'll be a message from the article that you read, and then you'll be able to trace it to over here, and then it just goes down. It's like, who knows where the thing's going. It's out of our hands. It was originally, the parish is named after the valley, something to do with the Skye Committee. These were a group that were organised to look after the municipalities. And Hallandsdale Church, I wonder what kind of church it was. It is a Lutheran, it's a Lutheran church. So, it is a Lutheran church, and it was built over there in 1903, but we do have to be careful. The valley that is the site of the old Halland farm, Haverland, Old Norse, since the Hallandsdale church was built there. The first element comes from the word har, which means high or tall. That is the Pākehā. The second element means land, which means land. The last element of the name comes from D-A-L-R, which means valley or dale. So when we looked at that one, we have got the D-A-L in here, but they've got D-A-L-R. So this word here is a combination of this word here. So that's where the news article was. That's where the news article was leading all the Freemasons to. So I don't know what the message is, but hang on, I'll just open up the message again. Don't want to get. I can't get what I'm looking for. I can get it. Hang on. All right. I've got it. Right, so here is the, oh dear. Here is the message, which is here. So, oops. I don't know how to turn that off. Oh, well. I get a bit confused with this. How do I turn that bit off? Hang on. I just have to go back down here again. I don't want to have, I don't want to be putting, I just want to re-open this. Sorry about that. So she said that's all come from Ann Court. So we found Ann Court. We don't know when they're looking at where they're going. They're going to do a current southbound lane will become the new northbound lane, whilst the newly created lane will become the new southbound lane. Now, there really is a lot of skullduggery in there. So, as I've just already told you, that Northern Ireland is southern New Zealand, and Northern Ireland Protestant is southern New Zealand Protestant. Southern Ireland Catholic is northern New Zealand, actually Jewish. It's a Jewish population up there, because I remember the Southern Ireland. So you've got Protestant Catholic, right? Got it. Protestant Catholic is in Ireland, and then you've got Jewish Protestant, which turned up in New Zealand, and the Jewish Protestant in New Zealand. I've got documents where they have battled before over the north and the south. So they're just absolutely not the same. The whole south was brought under the Lutheran, and presently the north are trying to claim the south under the 10% rule. So that's a whole nother video. So you can think of it like that. Now, Israel, Palestine, they're over there. And it looks to me like Israel and Palestine, because we know that the three churches have joined in Chrislam. We know that. And then we know that the Latter-day Saints have joined together with the Muslims. It's a huge Protestant takedown. So the current northbound lane will be permanently closed off to become the new work site. The current southbound lane will become the new northbound lane. So they were taking over the north. This is in New Zealand. They were taking over the north, and then they're going to turn around the northbound lane, and that northbound lane is going to go southbound to take over the south lane, whilst they are creating the newly created lane, which will become the new southbound lane. So there's going to be a 360 where they took over the north is going to flip around and go down and take over the south, and then they're going to create a third lane offside, and that's going to be the new path that they're going to be following. So if you can just flip that around, if you're over in Ireland, Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland, this is where they're coming in, and they've brought all the black people in to take over your countries. They're the army to take you over, but in the end, they murdered all the white people anyway. They murdered the whole lot. So that's why all the white people, that's why Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, Northern New Zealand, Southern New Zealand all had to come in and join together, because all the white people were going to be knocked off. So that's Kate Floss's strange video today. And Kate Floss signing out. Okay, I'm never good. Don't forget to donate to Kate Floss. I'll put in the links to my bank if anyone wants to donate a little bit and buy Kate Floss. It's buy a hat for Kate Floss, and you can put up a wee note and let me know that you've put in something for a hat for Kate Floss, and then Kate Floss. I won't put your name up, but I will say thank you. Okay, because I do have to buy a lot of ink. I've got tons of paper. I'm always printing paper. I'm always buying ink. I've got to put in court documents. They take a lot of time. I've got to do a lot of hours and hours of research, but that's all free. But I do have to spend a lot on all of this stuff. I do have to pay for the YouTube every month. I do have to pay for the internet and all of this that I can do. So if anybody wants to put in a wee donation, for Kate Floss. By all means, go and buy Kate Floss a hat. See you later. Kate Floss signing out. I have to get my best face. Put my dad in. There's my dad. Put on the sofa. I don't want to be looking at it. Which way am I looking? How do I get my eyes? How about that?